Fine, right. It's only 10 minutes, but I see here comes the peanut butter sandwich. And what, it's our 6 o'clock that we do this here in California, but that's, who knows what time it is in other parts of the world.
I think some people may even be getting up at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning to watch the live stream, that is.
That's right, and to be in part of the chat. And that's the whole reason that we do it here and that's live and all, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move into the Circle of 12. And as we prepare for the Circle of 12, let's begin by giving some statements of intent. I will say each intent 3 times, and you are invited to say them silently or aloud. I release all expectations, and I am willing to be open to the energy of compassion in my life. I release all expectations, and I am willing to be open to the energy of compassion in my life. I release all expectations, and I am willing to be open to the energy of compassion in my life. I accept the perfect love of God. I accept the perfect love of God. I accept the perfect love of God. I give permission to experience the grandness of my soul. I give permission to experience the grandness of my soul. I give permission to experience the grandness of my soul. I am ready.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon. Come a little closer. Oh, if you have been listening today to the channeling, that statement may ring a little different for you, perhaps a little truer for you. We bring you a premise that is so controversial. Yet again, we continue the message of the channeling, that the premise is this, that the human being, all of you, the billions of you, are connected profoundly to that which created the entire universe and all the universes around it, before and after yours. Could it be that something so basic and so all-knowing has escaped humanity completely? Because of being human in 4 dimensions and because of an old energy on this planet that you have been in for so long, that is the perception. It always has been survival. And when you're in a survival mode and you battle each other for resources, which you've been doing now for thousands of years, the idea perhaps that you're all sacred individuals would of course escape you. And instead, you seem to battle even that which is divine. If you think about it, there's a battle for your soul. And that is what you have been told that there is. And that battle for your soul is between good and evil. And you've been told so long that there is truly a horrible underworld of negative things that wants you and wants to capture you and trap you, and that when you die, that's where you're going to go. You see, it never stops. It's a battle of survival, no matter what you think. Do you really think that there's a battle for survival in heaven, what you call heaven? And there would be those who say, well, of course there is. They project everything that is human nature on all of the heavens, on every god that there is. The Greeks did it well. They made their gods even dysfunctional. That's so human, dear ones. And it's an old energy human. It's not a high consciousness human. In these days, right now, humanity has started to raise its consciousness, and you can tell by the questions that are being asked and some of the demands that are being made by regular people who are starting to question that which has either been told to them or the procedures that they've been told. Do they really work? Should they really do this or that? Is there something better? They're starting to question and look at some of the things that have been in old energy for years and years. You've seen what you're doing in this culture, in my partner's culture, was starting to clean up certain kinds of things that have been inappropriate, to say the least, for eons. Things that have simply laid there and been done, and some would say, well, it's human nature and it's the way of it today. So many are standing up and say, enough of that. Let's move past that. I've given so many channels about this. And my favorite continue to be a day when your politicians will be kind to each other. And that's when you roll your eyes and say, well, now you've gone too far. That is where it goes eventually. And I know this because these planets that I talked about in this series, these planets, lots of them, that have life like yours, lots of them, who have been around a lot longer than you have, lots of them, have gone through what you are going through. You might say that school of consciousness that you are starting to move through has occurred many, many places in this galaxy. You might say that the steps involved in raising consciousness with brains just like yours, with logic just like yours, has gone through the same kinds of elegance and non-elegance to get to where they could be a higher vibration. And so we have seen it before, dear ones. I told you this. I came in to this planet in 1989, your time. That now computes at this point to 31 years. Long before 2012. But I began by telling you about a new energy. The first book, I told my partner to title The End Times. And he said, well, that sounds frightening and scary. And I said, put the name on it anyway, so that when those read it, they'll understand that the end times means the end of eons of old energy. It's the end times for darkness. It was the beginning of the turnaround 31 years ago. 2012 was simply the marker, and you passed it. That in the year 2000, and you passed it. Now you find yourself in an unusual consciousness, unusual times, unusual thinking, where the world has actually stopped for a year or so, allowing you to look around and see what is there. All of this has happened on other planets as well. The idea that you're being watched by benevolent beings other than that which is spiritual. It's not something that has been in what you call your playbook. That's not what you would think, and not what you've been taught. We gave you another channel saying that you always expect when ETs visit you, they've come to conquer you, or hurt you, or steal something. That the idea of ETs coming in benevolence and looking like angels has not many movies about that, dear ones. What if that was the case? What if, dear ones, there is benevolence almost everywhere else but here, waiting for you to grow up? And you have started this process. We have seen it so many times before. This is why Spirit knows your name, and why there is a hand outstretched metaphorically by that which is the creator of the universe, that which is compassion and love, saying, why don't you take a look? Why don't you try it? This is so difficult for so many. Perhaps you are here, or you have those watching this who literally have invested their lives in negativity, in drama. And so when it starts to diminish, they twitch a little. That's a metaphor. It means that when you start to take away something that's always been there, even if it's negative, there is a reaction. A big one. And the reaction sometimes is, I see the light and don't want anything to do with it. Because the light is foreign to so many people. Foreign. Dear ones, you are old souls watching this. I want you to understand that old souls have been through a lot. Old souls, again, meaning the age that you have been lifetime after lifetime on this planet, brings you to a place of maturity, understanding, and readiness for what comes next. Some have asked, how can I be more ready? I'm having trouble with this, or I'm having trouble with that. Old soul, ask yourself, do you really understand you deserve to be here? Can you really dismiss all of the drama that in some of you continues to circle and circle and circle? If it weren't there, would you be okay? And some of you say, well, yes, this is what I'm here for. This is what I want. Really, if it were not there, would you be okay? There are some, not necessarily those listening to this program, who survive day by day by the amount of drama that is there. And if there isn't enough, they'll create some more. If there is a bright spot in their life or a little too much quiet, they'll get on the phone and dial quickly to find some drama. You know what I'm talking about. It's a habit, dear ones. There's a better habit. Why don't you try compassion and kindness and see what happens? Now, I'll say it again. What does that have to do with the circle of 12 and the healing that will occur today? I'll say it yet again and again. The quieter you can become with that which is your soul, the more healing will occur in your life. The more you have compassion for others, the more healing will occur in your life. Every week, we go across the bridge. We will continue to. We're going to do it right now. This bridge separates you from the known. Everything you know right now, everything you've been taught right now, goes to somewhere else because the bridge separates the known from the unknown. The unknown isn't the future, dear ones. Perhaps some of you have not got that yet. The unknown is you now. There's more here than you can imagine. Let's go to that bridge right now. Let's go there. I have somebody for you to meet. Go to the bridge, dear ones. You're about to cross into the unknown. There is that wall of mist we always have. Take your hands, put them together with all those who are watching now, in the past, the present, and even in the future. You really are all together right now. Do you understand this? If you can't understand it, I want you to imagine that the clock stops and that those who are going to join us later have the same time as you do. And you join hands with all. It's like waiting for those perhaps who are a little late to come. And you wait, and you're there, but it happens all at once. Come with me now. Take my hand. Let's cross the bridge. Oh, dear ones, you cross into an unknown area that is dripping with truth and compassion. All universal truths are here for you to see right now. Oh my, if you could see them, if I could show them to you, the sky would open up and you'd see your magnificence and all those around you. You'd understand the plan. You'd see so much you don't see now. All that would be there, you'd see those that you've loved and lost. You'd see the smiles of the Creator knowing your name. Your name would be called in light and you'd recognize it. You'd recognize it because you've heard it. You've heard it for eons and eons and eons. A name that is never said on the planet. This is how grand it is. And you are part of it. You don't stand in line to get there. You're already there. Crossing the bridge is an exposure of what is already there. Walk with me into that theater of the round. Go through the portal that is simply a metaphor of changing an energy from where you are to something else. A portal you walk through and you go to this theater, a three-dimensional representation of something you understand and you know. It's a metaphor. A theater in the round that is sunken, so you have to go down into the stands, you might say, to then walk upon the stage. A stage that always has a chair on it, unless it doesn't. Depending upon what we're doing, what we want you to see and experience and feel. It's not an accident that we have chosen a stage. A stage is where performances happen, where actors and actresses come and go and do things. It's always well lit. There's always those watching it, listening, and wanted to be there. They come in and they take their seats. It's a good example, a metaphor, where you can be quiet and things happen there and everyone participates. We've done many things on this stage. This is one we might have done before, but not like this. You walk upon that stage, the audience is already there. Truly, there is a hushed silence, and you take your seat. You take your seat. Groups of the audience are now going to have lights shown upon them. Certain sections of the audience are going to stand, and you're going to hear in one voice what they have to say to you. Now, they're not going to be speaking, but a consciousness of who they are is going to resound in your head all around you, and everyone will hear it. In huge groups, the lights will shine upon these groups. They will stand, and each one will talk to you. In one of these exercises, they were those from other planets who'd gone through what you have gone through, and they ascended, you might say, and now they're here to tell you about it. Oh, but this is Angel Day, dear ones. And all those who will talk to you right now are not of your world. They come from beyond the veil. Some have been humans, some have not. They have a certain kind of soul, you might say. They are indeed angelic. They're my family. This represents the voice of the Creator. Group by group, they stand and they're illuminated, and you can hardly look at them because there's golden light in every one of them. They shine like the sun. And all of them have one message. And that message, thank you for finding us. We have loved you since you were born on this planet. Thank you for finding us because we wanted to be found. We're here to be with you. A light goes off, another light goes on, another section illuminates. Oh, the violet color of this section. Did you see that? Oh, that's a color of healing. And they stand, and with one voice, thank you for finding us. Are you ready for your healing now? Are you ready to have the compassion of God for others, for yourself? You want to turn that switch, and things will start happening. Oh, the beauty. Do you see that violet color that they have? How could it be so bright, so pure, so deep at the same time? Another light goes on, another light goes off. Group after group after group seems endless, and the colors are amazing, and they all say your name. They all say your name. Thank you for finding us. Welcome to the rest of your life. Finally, you know. Stick around a little while, will you? Just listen. Be still for what they have to say to you, and know you are loved. Stay. And so it is.